everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Lumiere Lifestyle. I have a very important and special guest today. Her name is Karra, and she's here today because we're going to talk about faith, purpose, and life. So, I think I met you at a very special time in my life when I was really trying to figure things out, my spirituality in general. And I think Christianity is like, I don't know, I think it was really special for me to understand that specific religion, you know, and not think of it as a religion, you know? And meeting you and your whole, like, your church and everyone in that community was just so, like, welcoming and uplifting and yeah, like, how has this whole journey changed you and affected you?
Yeah, so it's crazy because I didn't even grow up in church.
Yeah.
Which is weird because usually people that go to church like as an adult grew up in church. It's not the other way around. So I didn't grow up in church at all. And then I was kind of at a point in my life where, like, I was trying to figure things out too. Like, I was in college and I was, like, going to parties and stuff. But, like, I didn't feel like my life had purpose and, like, meaning deeper than, like, okay, what's my next goal? Graduation, then work, then etc. So I was trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the meaning of my life? I feel like everyone asked that question at one point.
Yeah, like, what's the meaning?
What's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
So I think I was at that stage, and I never grew up in church, but I had friends that believed in God, and I just saw that their lives just felt like it had more purpose to them.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I want to give it a try. Open mind. I was like, I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know about this Christianity business.
Yeah.
So I started going to church, and I got connected to a church that really fights to live like Christ does. Because I feel like a lot of people, like, you go to church, but you're, you know, sitting here judging other people or critical or just think you're better than other people, and that's not what I wanted. I want to go to a church where people try to be humble and love and serve and all the things that Jesus talks about. So I found this amazing church, and I got connected, and my life just, like, changed forever. Because I felt like for the first time, like, my life had meaning, and I had a person that I could strive to be closer to, and that was Jesus, and trying to be more like him, and serving the poor, and, you know, a lot of these things that I am passionate about, like, Jesus already did, you know. He was, like, a justice fighter. He was not trying to have anybody, you know, take advantage of the poor and serving, and he was selfless, and he loved everybody deeply regardless, you know, and I feel like just everything that Jesus is about, I'm like, I want to be on your team. Like, like, you know, exactly. So
I know, even just talking to you, like, makes me want to be closer.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, like, I think Christianity was the first step into exploring my spirituality, and I think that's a really good place. For me, like, I'm not saying it's not just the start, but for me, like being a part of that community, and getting to know you guys, and, like, really, like, looking in your heart, and praying and meditating and all of that really, like, transformed my mind for the better. And a lot of people judge Christians and think that, like, why would I even start that path, you know? But I think it's just, it really does change you inside.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think that because they're looking at people who call themselves Christians, but they're not living like Jesus does. So I think, and that's the sad part, because, you know, that's not what Christianity is about, but I think just people, just the way they live it out makes it look unattractive. And I think that's for me where I was coming from too. I was like, I want to be, like, the critical person in the corner that's like super like conservative and stuff. So but I think, like, what helped me was, like, looking in the scriptures myself and, like, saying, okay, this is how Jesus treated people. So if that's how he wants me to treat, you know, the poor or people that are outcasts of society, like, if that's how he treated them, like, that's how he wants his followers to treat them too. And I think that's what just changed my whole perspective, is not looking at people in their walks with God, but just looking at God himself, like, through Jesus.
Wow, yeah.
So I think that was huge for me. That changed everything about my life.
Yeah. Did you feel like before that, like, before, you know, seeking the truth, before finding God, did you feel like you had any idea of the meaning of life or your purpose in life back then?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I've always had, because my brother has special needs, so I've always had a desire to like work with just people with health challenges, work with poor people of color.
Yeah.
So I've always had that desire. That's not something that came necessarily out of me being a Christian, but I think being a Christian has enhanced that, and I feel like it's given me.
It's like, what are you living for? You know, and now you have like, a reason.
Exactly. Yeah, more reason, more motivation, and yeah, I think it also is affirming too. Like, okay, this is good. You know, having this desire, because I mean that's how we should all care about people.
Yeah, I mean I think we all should. And a lot of people hate people, honestly, but at the end of the day, I think the reason why there's so much hate in this world is because people don't want to reach their hand out to others and help.
Exactly.
You know, you really have to like reach out to people and show our love, because that's the only thing that really like exists,
connects us.
Yeah, connects us, and that really thrives at the end of the day.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's just like, especially in America right now, I think there's just like a huge absence of love and compassion and like building bridges instead of walls. Like I feel like there's just so much selfishness. I think that's kind of at the root of it, is like everyone's just out for themselves, and other people aren't like, oh, be on my team. It's like, oh, you're my competition.
Yeah, it's like okay, whatever. I hate people. Like that's like it's a trend now to hate people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and gossiping.
Yeah,
and
all
like,
of that.
Yeah,
but
and I think also too in our generation, I think it's more severe because I feel like we're like the millennials. Like we do our own thing, you know, which is good. I think it's our generation really tries to go after our passion, but I think also there's that selfishness too within us, where like we're kind of all about ourselves, but we're not like, okay, I'm gonna bring other people along with me.
Yeah, I also think that like us as millennials, we want to make impact in this world. Like, that's a big thing with our generation.
We do,
which is cool.
It
and
is.
I feel like for both of us, we are both passionate about helping one another, helping people of color, and like wanting to make a difference. And I think that's cool, like something that we connect on.
Exactly. I definitely agree with that. I feel like we're more of a we like to help people.
But I feel like it's not. A lot of people aren't like that though.
No.
Like you might think, but
I think we also surround ourselves with people who are like us. I don't think we're friends with people necessarily that don't want to help other people.
Yeah, that's true.
Be my friend.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But what kind of advice do you have for people who want to understand different spiritualities or want to get into learning more about God and Christianity?
My biggest advice would be, don't, like, your relationship with God is your own. It's not about people. So how people are acting, what people say you should believe, like you can't base your relationship with God off of that, because God's not people. I feel like you really have to do it for yourself. So for me, like, it was prayer and just like reading the scriptures on my own to see what they say, and not listening to what people say or how people distort, because people will use scripture sometimes but distort it to like,
oh gosh, yeah
all the time. So I feel like it just has to be your personal journey, and even taking along with you people that you trust, that you see how they live their lives, and you see how they live their lives through the scriptures, and trying to like get them to help you get questions, because I mean it's not simple, you know, and it's a lifelong journey, you know. You're always gonna, there's many things we're never gonna know, but I think it's just really important that God is the focus and not people.
Yeah, well, thank you. You inspired me so much, because I felt like I've been lacking of some spiritual feelings,
spiritual, yeah, girl,
senses inside, like, but hearing you.
It's late, y'all. It's Sunday.
I cannot speak at all.
I know.
Like, hearing you speak about it is really inspiring, and it, like, uplifts my spirit.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can sense the passion that you and the love that you have for Christ when you speak.
Thanks. But it's a journey, though. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Not every day is easy, but it's worth it.
All right, thank you so much for being on my show.
Thanks.
It really means a lot, and I hope that other people can hear your story and become closer to God, and you know, discover their passion for helping people and starting this journey. So
yes, thank you for having me. And if you have any questions too, like, you can put my email or something at the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll like put her email down below and her social media links too as well.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.
Bye ladies. Bye gentlemen. Bye everyone else.